You probably clicked on this video because you're a photographer and inquiries are feeling really quiet these days. Or maybe inquiries are rolling in and bookings are not where they need to be. And if you're a wedding photographer, engagement season is upon us. Between Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day, 40 to 47% of engagements occur. So if you're not getting inquiries right now, it can feel extra disappointing. So today, let's make the most of engagement season, turn your bookings around, and boost the volume of your inquiries this year. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole Lauren. I'm a wedding photographer and small business attorney here in South Carolina, and I love to show up on YouTube to share educational tips and tricks for photographers as well as behind the scenes content of small business ownership. And if the content of this video resonates with you, I would love to chat with you over on Instagram. I'll leave a link for my profile down in the description below. Send me a DM, you can just say the word coach, and I'd love to explore other ways that I can help support you in your business this year as your coach. If you're a photographer who feels like you should be getting more inquiries by now, your work is great, you're posting consistently on Instagram, and your website is beautiful, but you're still not getting the inquiries and bookings that you desire, this video is for you. First of all, I want to start by saying that inquiry problems are not talent level, they're system level. So don't beat yourself up when you're not getting inquiries in the door. It doesn't necessarily mean anything about you personally, it's just that something is broken or a part of your business is needing some TLC, and we're here to fix it. The only problem is if you don't go through the work to actually diagnose the problem that you have, you're going to try to fix the wrong one, and that's going to lead to burnout, doubt, and comparison. The triple threat that no photographer wants to face in their business. Am I right? For instance, most photographers that I've seen come through my coaching doors think that they have a conversion problem, meaning that if they could just get better at sales or have a more beautiful website or get new branding headshots, that they would finally book the ideal clients that they desire. I'm here to tell you that most of the photographers that I see come through my doors actually have a visibility problem, and I'm willing to bet that that's what you have as well. The good news is that there's only one of 3 problems that you're facing right now if you have low inquiries or low bookings for the year. So I'm going to walk you through every single problem you might be facing, what it feels like in your business, and how to solve that problem over the next 90 days. First, let's talk about the 3 problems that you could be facing in your business if you're experiencing a low volume of inquiries or a low number of bookings. The 3 problems are either conversion, positioning, or visibility. First, let's take conversion. Conversion is when people are finding you, but they're not taking that next step to book. Most often, this means that something in your process is clunky, confusing, or not enticing enough against the competition. You're attracting the right type of clients, but your processes need work. So if you're facing a conversion problem, here's what it might feel like. Aligned clients are coming in the door, but they're saying no, or sometimes nothing at all. And sometimes they're not even ghosting, but they're taking a really long time to decide, or they're stalling before they say yes. They're asking a lot of clarifying questions. And the process feels promising to you, feels like an aligned client, but then for some reason, they just kind of drop off. Here's my reminder for you here. If people are inquiring with you, they're expecting, in fact, they are wanting you to sell to them. So don't shy away at that point in the process. Don't make that process more confusing than it needs to be. Here's what might be really happening if you have a conversion problem. First, you might have too many steps in your process. The next step actions might be really unclear. You might have weak urgency, so there's really no deadline or desire for them to move forward. Or simply, your processes just feel harder than booking someone else. Another hallmark of a conversion problem is you're seeing lots of traffic come to your site, but it's not translating into actual inquiry forms submitted. At this stage, people are comparing, and friction kills momentum. So here's the solution if you have a conversion problem. First, I want you to audit your booking process. What is it like when a potential client comes through the door? What is your first email saying to them? How are you anticipating their needs, answering their questions, and encouraging them to move forward with you from that very first step? How are your consult calls? What do you say? What do you talk about? How do you create that sense of urgency for them to book on or right after the consult? Audit your contact form. Think about what could be confusing on the contact form or driving them away from actually submitting. You could even ask a friend, specifically a friend who's not a business owner, to fill out your contact form and give you some feedback. That's a really great to figuring out what's actually going on. Audit your website and navigation, specifically on your mobile website. Most of your clients are probably finding you on their iPhones. So if it's really hard for them to navigate your mobile site or really hard for them to fill out a contact form on their phone, it's probably going to lead to not having as many inquiries. Another solution is asking yourself how easy and exciting it is to book with you. When you have a conversion problem, what you need to focus on is more warm audience nurturing. So think about things like an email list, one-on-one DMs, or text messages, and one-on-one emails. You have the right people there, you just need to encourage them to take that next step and make things official with you. One more tip for you here. If you're feeling like you're in this boat, I want you to go back through all the inquiries that you've had in the past month or two. See if there's any that you didn't tie up with a nice bow that you can follow up with. You'd be surprised by how many people who are actually willing to book you if you just simply check in with them and ask. If you can get back into their inbox, bump yourself up to the top, it's actually doing a really big service to them, and you never know. They might want to book you even after a stalled inquiry process. Next problem is positioning. With positioning, you're attracting interest but not alignment. You're actually attracting the wrong type of clients. And what this often means is that you have a messaging problem on the front end. You need to fix what you're displaying to your audience. Here's how a positioning problem might feel. You might be getting price shoppers. People might be ghosting you a lot or trying to wheel and deal with you after they inquire. Bookings just don't feel solid or sustainable. Oftentimes it feels like pulling teeth or begging people to book. And you're often feeling the need to prove your worth or define your value so that someone can understand. You get a lot of, we're still looking, or we're still shopping around, or we're still talking to a lot of other photographers if you have a positioning problem. And the key here, inquiries often feel like they're really draining your energy. You might be getting a large volume of them, but you're feeling so drained every single time you respond or try to get someone to book. And those who have a positioning problem often will feel like pricing is the issue. They're going to focus on pricing and think, oh, if I just lower my prices, then people are going to book. When in actuality, that's really not the core of this problem. The real problem is that what you're displaying to your audience is actually underselling your experience. What you're displaying is actually attracting that bargain behavior. And what you're displaying is failing to filter out the people that you don't really want to serve. So here's the solution. I have good news. Fix your messaging and your content. That's what you need to focus on if you have a positioning problem. First of all, I tell my girls this all the time. Don't make price the most important thing about you, because it's not. Don't compete at the bottom. There's lots of photographers who are much more inexpensive than you are. Some of them might even have better work than you do. That's not what we're selling on. We're selling on your experience. The thing that only you can provide, that people cannot get anywhere else except for with you. Another thing that you need to do to fix a positioning problem is to curate the heck out of your portfolio. Only share client work that you love and want to book more of. Also, use emotional language. Don't focus on the deliverables. Focus on how your clients feel when they work with you. And then finally, audit your Instagram feed. Make sure that your Instagram is a guide for your ideal client. What I mean by this is making sure that your highlights are attracting the right type of client. Maybe you have a highlight for each of the venues that you love to work at. Maybe you have a highlight for educating your brides on your experience and your process before they reach out. Make sure your Instagram is something that your ideal clients can see themselves in. And finally, the third problem is visibility. And my guess is that most of you are living here and you don't realize it. Visibility is basically an eyeballs problem. You don't have enough eyes on your website. People aren't even finding you in the first place. You have a great business, but you're simply not getting eyes on it. And how are people going to inquire if they don't even know who you are? Fixing and tweaking your website constantly is not helping. Here's what a visibility problem might feel like in your business. First, you hear absolute crickets when it comes to inquiries. There's simply none or not very many coming in the door. Next, you experience a lot of comparison and paralysis when it comes to decisions. You find that most of your inquiries actually come from referrals, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but if most of your inquiries are coming from referrals, that means that you're not getting a lot of organic eyes on your website. Posting on Instagram often feels like you're just shouting into the void, hoping that something lands with someone out there. It's a lot of hoping and praying method. Another hallmark of the visibility problem is that inquiries just feel kind of random, like you don't know where they're coming from or why they're coming to you. Here's 3 myths that I see a lot of times when it comes to photographers who have a visibility problem. First, they think, I need a better website. We already know that's false. Number 2, they think my pricing must be too high. Again, if you're not getting actual eyes on your website, not enough traffic on your website, then your pricing can't simply be the problem because people aren't actually seeing your pricing in the first place. Third myth, the market is saturated. And this is one I hear all the time. I fully believe that your clients are out there. Even if there's so many photographers in your area, there's also so many weddings, so many portraits, so many families out there who want to hire you. They want to figure out who you are and how you can serve them. And there's only one you. So I truly believe believe that no matter how many photographers are out there, there's always room for you and your clients are going to find you. So here's the reality check. If people can't find you, they simply cannot inquire. So here's why this problem is often misunderstood and why a lot of people don't focus on fixing a visibility problem. Instagram has gotten us very much disillusioned into thinking that if we just keep posting and posting and posting, something is bound to happen. But the truth is, we really need to focus on SEO marketing more than just constant 24-hour posting on Instagram. Let's face it, our content is not lasting very long over on that platform. Another reason why visibility is often misunderstood is that SEO feels daunting, draining, slow, or intimidating. And working on SEO is not an instant gratification type of thing. It takes some time to build up. But let me tell you something, it is well worth it in the long run. And if you can build your SEO from the ground up, that's actually going to pay off way more than constantly having to reinvent the wheel and post every single day on Instagram to try and hope to get clients in your door. So what we're learning here is that visibility is not a quality problem, it's a volume problem. So here's the solution. You simply need to get more eyes on your business. And it's something that we cover heavily in my Photography Business Mastermind coaching program, which I'll tell you about in just a second. So if you have a visibility problem, quite simply, you just need to get more traffic to your site. So what this looks like is consistent blogging, making sure the back end of your website is very SEO friendly, and focusing your marketing efforts on cold audience attraction. So things like Reels, YouTube, blogging, those are going to be your sweet spots when it comes to getting in front of more eyes so that more inquiries can come into the door. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way to this point, I want you to go down in the comments, let me know which problem you think that you currently have. Is it a conversion problem, a positioning problem, or a visibility problem? Let me remind you, most photographers don't fail because they lack information. And most photographers don't fail because they don't try hard enough. They fail because they're working on the wrong thing at the wrong time. If this video resonated with you, I would love to chat more about your specific business and how I can help support you this year. I run a 3-month high-touch intensive coaching mastermind for photography business owners. The mastermind is equal parts diagnosis and implementation. It's personalized strategy, not another course for you to take. Similar to this video, we diagnose different parts of your business and bring awareness to the things that are holding you back. But in the mastermind, we focus on execution, following through, and holding you accountable to achieve your goals this year. If that's piquing your curiosity and sounds interesting to you, I would seriously love to chat with you further over on Instagram. Send me a DM down below or check out the mastermind info page. I'll leave a link down there as well if you'd like to skip ahead to the application for the program. I can't wait to support your business this year. If you have other video ideas for what you'd like to see from me, I am a photography business owner with over 11 years of experience, so I'm really an open book. Let me know your video ideas down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time on YouTube. Bye!